before this match. I wanted to do it last match, but this or not busy. I was too annoyed. I had to get that other match done. Oh no, yeah, I had just gotten back, so wanted to get that match done. Some Alliance Air Wars or whatever it's called. Yeah, Alliance Air War. Well, not Air Wars, but Alliance Air War. This game's got a super dope clutch setup. I don't know if it's a physics engine or what it's operated off of, but it's flying engine. There we go. That's what it is. Has no one joining, so I don't really want to start it. Yeah, means no one's logged in right now. Out of the 50 players that are playing. It's hilarious. That means I've been going against nothing but bots. Such cool. Whatever. I got stuck watching BEM. Okay, now the engine's all sporadic. That's clutch. My wingmen became as good as me. Hate when it doesn't relock on. It's like I'm taking too much time to lead or something. For some reason, it doesn't maneuver as well. Flying upside down, opposed to panning out sideways. I'll explain with an example right now. There you go. It's easier to to pitch and yaw, to just pitch or yaw. I think it's yaw. I think that's yaw. Yeah, yeah. To just yaw to the side, to where it just like goes sideways. Has more control. I mean, it makes sense with the wings and whatnot. Real physics environment. But I would imagine pushing or pulling more strength in this way would cause for greater control, but then again, it's cutting through it easier. I get almost no credits for this, but it's good practice. Better than anything else. Mission select, Wild Weasel. Oh, sorry, mission select. The Bering Strait, 2019. Wild Weasel, seek out and destroy enemy air defenses and accompany air support. Defend the Allied fleet. You know what, I'll just try Wild Weasel. I thought each one might be different. Or might be one campaign. Or one mission, I mean. All just like in a row, but seems like you have to have. I mean, it seems like I guess each one's separate. Unless you buy premium. That's what I was thinking. Unless it's to buy premium. It's for the premium aspect, I guess. That was way too easy. So these pedophiles got into these commercials. Man, that's crazy. Pedophiles breaking and entering through half of these companies. I couldn't figure it out. They're using these pedophile companies to cover everything up. I was wondering why the engine all of a sudden changed. What the fuck, dude? Lock on. must have lost my wingman. Dude, minor alterations to some of these planes make them so much better. This just through a few dream states. This one was kind of clutch. I actually like this one actually. After I got stuck with like the whole concept. First, it just still doesn't make sense if we're producing enough power though. That's what it is. These engines are supposed to be producing way more power. I don't know why the fuck it's so fucking remedial. Yeah, mainly if this is the stealth aspect, or I mean the design that it goes through. This is the high atmosphere. I mean, yeah, this is a not altitude, but atmosphere. This is one of the higher atmospheres dynamics. So this should be able to sustain flight at higher than the SR-71 and at faster speeds. That's why. Oh, okay, that's where the fall aspect probably came. It's probably not enough suction then. That's what it is. Yeah, not enough suction for how much is fucking falling. Oh man, my back's gonna blow out. Yeah, that's the concept. When free fall dive the right way. And I would have been flying for a few days straight on these because the fuel consumption is probably immaculate. This is during a time of peace type supposiality where everyone would be doing something super dope or getting the chance to. Yeah, and that would include everyone too. Really, if dream states make it less expensive. Because these remedials finally got everything done right. I would have even had my fully autonomous ship. With fully cyborg, full robot mechanics with epic personalities that don't get that wouldn't get replaced or anything. I'm just joking. But I mean, no jokes, it'd be still dope. Oh man. Nose being plugged is why I was doing it. Yeah, it makes sense for all the cuts. It's high altitude dive bomber in order to escape anything. I never like getting stuck. Is that why? Probably seem like a bitch. It's like my whole PUBG type career type dynamics. Seemed like all I was doing was running away half the time, but I have to run into it. I have to have the advantage. It's not like I'm gonna fucking get stuck there and just get shot down. This sucks. It's like, oh man, it's like even with a chick that I find attractive. Oh man. Yeah. And the strength is in that. The rigidity of the welds and everything else. That's crazy. I think there's enough heat produced. Oh, high altitude's cold. Oh, like that matters. But yeah, that's why it dives. Then never mind. It's still probably overheat at one point or another. Ah, so it is. Without electromagnetic search, no way to disperse that heat. So I'm so fully like stuck on something. Must have learned something then while doing this. But I'm not willing to hear the this one. I don't let go of anything, but like, damn it. Oh, that's why they probably used me for the wrong side. They probably still have me as an enemy, even though I'm like, because I was born in another country. So they probably would have given me some other shit country's rendition. This probably would have been through the R&D of which renditions they would have given me, and I would have ran each sequence different. That's crazy. It's crazy. Whatever. I just probably have to remember not to be stupid. Well, that's probably the overriding thing. That's what it is. You're a dream state. Even if it's a fully fine-tuned physics engine to the planet and whatnot. Well, because I wanted to be an astronaut. Oh, that's why, because I worded it wrong. Yeah, that makes sense. I really wanted to be a test pilot. Pilot seemed like the best. It's just being an astronaut would have been the next good step. I wanted to be a test pilot, though. I wanted to be an Area 51. That's all I cared about. Forget everything else. Being a pilot, test pilot, and Area 51, that's like the kush of the cushes. Even more kush than the kush reality check that I would have ever had. You got it. Oh, that's a laser at the bottom. You sure? Well, he's chopped. That's crazy. That's clutch. Would make sense with the electromagnetics then. Could be able to power a laser instead of having to worry about instead of having to worry about any power supply. I think the engineer reduces electricity. Or if it's really sacrificing speed, I guess. That's why those snipers happen. Just have to remember not to be dumb. Oh man, I have to learn how to make preset modes for my thoughts. So I know when I'm on economy mode and when I'm not on economy mode. Oh man. Because it doesn't matter if we're at war or not, I'm always still pushing like that, like leader, champion, that king of the hill mentality. Fuck, dude, I wish PUBG would have a King of the Hill mode. I would definitely push my skill. Oh, that King of the Hill cheer park mode I was talking about, where it was constant, 100%, all time live, would be so dope. This game is way too challenging to gain money and defend the fleet. Dogfight. Patrol the skies and intercept enemy fighter squadrons in the region. Attack the ace. Enemy assassination. Free flight. I don't want to free fly. I want nothing but kills from an onslaught of enemy squadrons. Defend the fleet. That seems like the best. I know I probably won't even earn enough to own one of these other planes, but it's also because I'm always going for the SUs. I like these a lot. I don't know why. No, I like the design. This one looks super prime too now. The SU-57. At first I didn't like it, and I saw this back end from this angle. It looks so rocket ship even. Actually, I just saw that angle too, but from this angle it looks so prime and clutch and beefy, just like straight Americana, straight stealth made. The house, it's not even it's like Americana, but everyone's going for like stealth now. Oh yeah, everybody, that's the type of stealth. The Americana stealth is what this is. The new one's just like progressing towards the future. That's it. It's kind of boring and lame actually. So I didn't like this one that much. They went with like a lame-ish. It looks lame now. Oh, no wonder they made the Blackbird or whatever this fucking stealth jet is. I want the B-2 bomber, the Nighthawk or whatever. That Nighthawk. No wonder they made the Nighthawk. At least kept some like energy going. He looks clutch. It looks like a rocket, like a space shuttle. If we had to think, I'd save 120,000 for it instead of an F-22. The F-22 even looks lame. U.S. Navy preview. That looks actually kind of base. That looks clean though. I like the blue. Aside from me liking the blue a lot, that looks basic. Basic AF. That looks basic. But that definitely looks so prime. That blue is clean. And then of course the United States Air Force is so prime. That's so iconic. That's so oh man, I can't even think of the word. That's so clutch. I can't think of the word. It's so prime. That's so dope. I see why I always wanted F-22. Back when it was not that prime, I don't see why they didn't go with the stealth skin. At least one of the new stealth skins. Oh, that U.S. Navy one's actually pretty. That's prime. That's cool. That's actually pretty for once. Melt that into the Navy. They have some clean ones. This U.S. Air Team is actually kind of clean, kind of like the U.S. Navy. That's probably why they probably took from the old U.S. Navy colors instead of old US Navy skins. And the J-30. understood why the foreign countries went with the high belly, or I mean the high like angular round. But where's the cleanest one? That's this one. The FA50 at least keeps it moderate. I thought they had an ugly rendition in here, but or I mean like an overly pronounced one. Where it just looks heinous. There's one, but it's not so much that it looks heinous. The rest of the planes look regular, like the Warthogs. I think U.S. makes them. But they look so odd, but they do match. I don't know. I guess they would probably match the aerodynamics, but I guess my reasoning to design and whatnot, not it just always makes me, it baffles my mind. Why? If all these countries keep claiming that glass isn't strong enough, why do they do it? That's why the boom, the sound, it's probably the aesthetic. The aesthetic must be a lot cleaner then. I could see it now. Yeah, it probably is, because those warthogs are clean as fuck. I don't even know if it's called a warthog, but I get stuck calling it a warthog, so it must even mean why. It must even be why. A super cool, clean aspect or something. That's probably what it is. Got me stuck for a few minutes. A few days, actually. Because these F2s look normal. Normal. While the rest just look like overly pronounced. Not that they wouldn't have a reason for it, but it's just like too cartoony, in my opinion. It gets on my nerves. But the aerodynamics would match. I don't even think I'll make 30,000 AC, and I sure as fucking not gonna pay for the subscription. Early supporter shop, $4.99 a month. I wonder if it unlocks it permanently. If that's the case, I would at least sign up for 1 month. Not really. I don't have money, but I probably so would use my sister's card and not give to not care about it. Oh man, I want that USAF skin now. Man, I'm so bitter I'm not in the Air Force. All because I had to get into college. All because I had to find a way into the university. Not really. Fuck no. I wanted to go to college and university and everything. Just because I got plagiarized. That's what it is. All because I got plagiarized, I got set out to try to find a fucking new route. And then those stupid pedophiles, oh whoops. Yeah, the pedophiles even ruined my shit then too. They plagiarized prior. So there was a bunch of groups plagiarizing. And then they went and sold what I would have been able to make into scripts as fucking Jason Bourne and shit. So fucking pissed, man. Being aggro at everyone for plagiarizing my work, for not leaving me anything. Man, I ate 2 pizzas already and I'm fucking starving, man. I hate bread. I so fucking hate churches now. I'm so in such a bad mood now. First, all my Area 51 dreams gone. Aliens nowadays are just a bunch of fucking annoying fucking pieces of shit that sided with pedophiles. Go watch sci-fi. Lost Girl. That's how they took aliens and whores from it. It got me stuck with this sick, sad, heinous laughter. Oh man, talk about depression. Fuck man. If I had, if actually, I won't even say it that way because I go on killing sprees. If I had a gun, not really. I guess I'd be a hunter, so I guess I'd just go on a hunting trip. And then I'd just be crying at the end of the weekend like a bitch. I can at least make that into some into a commercial or something, or an ad. Oh man. The only reason I'm not evil is because I know even when I'm like thinking of something evil that I wouldn't do ever, there's always some six-eyed pedophile bitch that's always running in the background on someone else. Like, oh no, you're not worthy of having this. Whether or not this guy agrees to that or not, I'm gonna go torture you with whatever fucking will and whatever not I have. I don't take anything lightly. Even if simple thought of someone else thinking that someone else is gonna die, I'd go into a frenzy of using all the technology I have available to find these people. Knowing the technology is available, and even if it is just a thought in their head, I could isolate the thought and prevent the thought and everything from happening. Otherwise, I know there's that catastrophic reality that it's going to happen or something's going to happen in real life negatively. And due to these issues not being stopped, everything could have been stopped instead. And anyone telling you other is just a bunch of pedophiles lying for a bunch of pedophiles. Oh, well, we had this covered. We just didn't want to be exposed by you. Like, oh my gosh. That's how the pedophiles roam around throughout society. Lying as to the possibilities of basic electronic devices. Maybe my headphones even pick up my heartbeat. And off of my headphones picking up my heartbeat and me being able to hear my heartbeat, I'm able to deduce when I'm in heavy stress or not. Which causes me to stress out even more, but at least I know, opposed to ignoring these emotions like I normally do. I mean, just because I'm not causing myself harm doesn't mean that I'm not causing someone else harm. I used to think it was a joke until I got thrown into perpetual dream state after perpetual dream state, and then I started seeing real people being caused real damage in real life, and due to the fact that they were being caused damage in dream states. So I stopped taking everything lightly. I started trying to protect everyone from falling, from everything. And then I realized what I could prevent. And that's why I never stopped. Knowing that I could save lives. Just by making sure, even in a dream, they weren't taking damage. And actual liars are, oh, there's no way to give them credit. They're actual pedophiles lying when they're lying. So even when they're lying, they're lying. While, like a kid or like a kid for example will lie, but only to prevent themselves from like crying or something like that. So in fact, they're like saying the truth. I'm not trying to like. No, well, they're not saying the truth, but in fact, you just have to learn how to separate the whole conversation into bits and pieces. So you're not lying. So you're lying about the fact that you didn't cause the issue, but you're lying about the fact that you don't want to cry. I mean that you want to cry, whatever. But you're lying about the fact that you want to cry because you might get in trouble, or not in trouble, or not in enough trouble to where you look cool for lying or for being the scapegoat, basically. Or like here's another major one that happened. A bunch of pedophiles went and basically distributed families throughout the US in different areas. A lot of the underage girls that were normally attracted to me were forced to display their attraction to teachers that would sleep with them and would rape them of their dignity when they're underage. And they did it throughout the US. And that's only due to the fact that I would have found these not huh due to the fact that I would have taught these kids not so much about attraction, but what leads to the formation of their body features and whatnot, to where they eventually can and will join the adult portion of society and be able to display their assets in a way where I could be fully endorsed and able to say, yes, you are becoming a gorgeous part of society. Or something not so lame, but for lack of a better phrase that might be used or might be altered. That's why they provoke kids at such an early age. Because not because of the words, but due to the fact that I was trying to make society gorgeous again. Whether they wanted it or not, I make everyone comply. Why? Well, not so much why. It's a how that led everyone to their manic states that they're currently in. It's the fact that I will make it possible for each person to have an individual way of attaining this so-called enlightenment or whatever they might consider it. This higher plane of thinking, this higher vibe, this higher reality, this higher, less lame word, this better next moment, this better moment. this not lame moment, whatever it might be considered. I was just leading towards making everyone actually enjoy life, actually find the beauty in life. So it reminds me, a lot of people, a lot of groups, and a lot of people will misconvey messages and claim to be conveying the right message to groups, and they'll cut people off completely and claim to be conveying the right message, but they don't. Um, I've dealt with it time and time again, and these groups for a while caused a lot of damage uh, to my brother, just younger than me, not any of the others, but the one, but the one just younger than me, and not the one that always falsifies identities for himself, claims to be that brother, and then claims to be the other brother, and then falsifies for what reason? Due to the fact that he sided with so many pedophiles, the pedophile will go around raping everyone else of their identities, and the pedophile feels no shame in it. He just the pedophile's like already wired as pedophiles are wired, and to a worse extent. They'll even the pedophiles will cry in your face deliberately to turn their back and wipe the tears off their eyes and walk away, looking like they're not crying. Unless you're part of their pedophile faction on the other side that sees them wipe away the tears, and they just claim to still be crying and still play it off. Why? Because those pedophiles endorsed those pedophiles also on a regular basis, and just kept falsifying information. All because they were exposed for siding with pedophiles and raping countless females throughout the US. Not just of their dignity, but would literally rape females. Regardless of what the female is considered, it's considered accessory rape on the female's behalf, regardless of what the pedophiles want to claim. Oh yeah. So here's what happened to one of my brothers, to my actual brother. But they would do it to a lot of people in society, and this is how it like tied in. But this is how they did it. This is how it happened a lot. They would, and it was the same system, and I guess this is how it ran. How it ran, like ran, like how it actually happened through my network and multiple networks, because they target the main links to every network in order for these um, pyramid effect type schemes to happen. Um, they basically isolate it to, like, let's say I'm teaching something pivotal to the masses. They segregate one group and they prevent them from getting the overall concept through, or from understanding the full concept, aka remedials. This is how they become remedials, aka everyone becomes a remedial after that point, due to the fact that one person misunderstands, or is forced, due to the fact that one person is forced to misunderstand, everyone else is broken away from the same understanding. It's a super challenging concept to understand due to the fact that there's so many other groups that also falsify these and will also have like their own way of falsifying it and being like, oh well, my group was able to learn it. How is your not group? How's your group not able to learn it? And they falsify it due to the fact that they're a bunch of pedophiles expecting to be like expecting to be quoted again, or not even quoted, to be mocked again, expecting to be mocked on a regular basis. It's the worst of the worst pedophiles in every country. That's why I hate Mexico or dislike Mexicans. They run it on a regular basis. Them shit scum pedophile routine pedophiles are all like constantly, they're all the worst of the worst. Some of these pedophiles are just born under pedophiles that are from Mexico. So those pedophiles made it worse here in the U.S. But legitimately, any person that speaks Spanish or learned Spanish from an actual Mexican person, and I've never been like actual Mexican, though I'm Mexican straight from Mexico. But they all do the same. They all run the same routine. I've dealt with white people running the same pedophile routine, and I'm just like, oh man, if I had a chance to chin check your pedophile ass right now, I so would. But for infractions like that, I shoot you straight through your fucking pedophile head, right in between your stupid little pedophile fucking eyes that you're gonna hide from me, regardless of it just being in my head or not. I'm gonna shoot you straight through your pedophile head. And that's as easy as it happens. And that's why all these pedophiles run away and roam around and get protected by government organizations, because those pedophiles are part of those pedophiles, and they're like, oh, I don't want to get shot through my eyes. And this guy's being serious. He's seriously saying, just for that type of mockery, that these pedophiles straight from Mexico distributed throughout country after country as simple ways of talking to people, as just simple jokes, or actually severe acts of pedophilia rape. Like, not just rape, but pedophilia enforced rape, or pedophilia forced rape. And that's all. And then they hide it through a bunch of ignorant pedophile white people that all have chosen to side with pedophilia behind the scenes by cutting off one of their fingers, or by cutting off their hair, or by cutting off some form of sacrifice. But they cover it all up by saying, oh, I didn't cut off my finger. That's just the pedophiles we had in that Assassin's Creed movie this time. At least we sacrificed two to the same structure, one of each sex. They can still breed one that doesn't miss a finger. Like, what, bro? What are you trying to play on us? And that's how the pedophiles roamed around for centuries, and they've still been roaming around from military agency after military agency, all because we haven't chosen to kill them off, or kill off the pedophile females that associate with them. And they teach them not to associate with them, but until they're actually executed, then those pedophiles will always roam around. Why? Because there's ignorant pedophiles running this country through small offices of meager rapport, due to the fact that all of their branches haven't been shut down or exposed. Here's another thing that you'll notice a lot of these pedophile companies running. Like pedophiles like Verizon will falsify information due to the fact that they're a wireless company that went around raping and everything behind the scenes and only do this for certain clients or certain people. Then they falsify information due to the fact that they have so much money. But they'll go to like a rural area like San Diego County, like San Diego County's offset like little cities and whatnot. And they set up their junction boxes like cable companies will. They'll set up their junction boxes to where each junction box only has the capacity for one cable line per house. But they have it set up to where some of their pedophiles that live in the area that are raping the people in the area that are roaming around from house to house, as the pedophiles claim gradually, while using my image or something of that nature, since the pedophiles usually do that as rage or retaliation for their pedophiles being exposed. They just use my image for all their pedophiles and whatnot, whether they're pedophiles or through their pedophile affiliation or pedophiles through their own pedophile actions. But the pedophiles will roam around, and they have their house specifically set up to have multiple lines, whether one of them's concealed or not, by running a trace line or trace route through someone else's lot. They basically they're able to get like split connections to one house of like data. So at that point, instead of just getting 150 megabytes per second, they're getting two split connections at 100 plus each, and claiming other to the surrounding areas as they leech and leak, and they also violate their connections. It used to be a simplified way of virtual processing it, or not really virtual processing, but they had another name for it. I call it virtual processing now, but there's an old name for it for this. I mean, I coined the whole virtual system and virtual processing name for it now, but I know there was another name for the system for this type of data communications. It was like a form of early virtualization, maybe even, but actually, I would say more of a primitive rendition. That's the correct word for this. It's more of a primitive rendition of virtualization. Nowadays, in what I coined and what I made virtualized is completely different and far more advanced than anything from back in the eras. Just to avoid any of the pedophiles falsifying information due to the simplified math that I even simplified through those old that I even simplified of the old systems. So everything now that I've made and coined now as virtual is a more advanced, more fine-tuned, and simpler rendition of the old, primitive, prehistoric systems compared to now. And there's really no advancing what I got to. I just basically created the end game loophole. That's why my voice fluctuates so much frequencies. Man, I'm so annoyed right now. My voice just dropped like 500 octanes, became deeper instantly. All because I got rid of that vicious like rib pain. I'm actually able to breathe now. That's cool. That's what I get for stretching the whole time. And to be honest, a lot of the virtualization back then was really just simple. They just didn't do much with it, and most of the companies just knew the average American couldn't afford it. And also, a lot of the R&D as to the right timing values wasn't really done yet. By now, like everything I had to do was basically just running through every issue I had, and I simplified everything off of that. So it was just what it was. All because I wanted higher FPS, wanted to match my device's timing to the FPS. And then I realized like data transmissions weren't even that fine tuned, but still carrying out as much data as if they were. So I was kind of baffled. It's like you can see the lag in the lines now. Like you can see the lag in the data signal. Like your eyes can see the difference. It's dramatic. My eyes can see the difference, but like explaining it is probably challenging. Explaining it probably takes me forever too. Now that I think about it. Not to mention cost my gut. I was even thinking right now, trying to figure out how to get more alliance credits in this game, and I even just kept, and I just like realized that even switching up like, and I think I'm right. That's what it is. I was to avoid overthinking. I like thought of every possible route as to how I could increase my chance. Not so much of survivability, but to get to the point. And regardless of what I do, I think I'm already ahead and further ahead. So regardless, it's all about time. So I just have to find somewhere to get way more kills instead of going back to the previous mission. And instead of dealing with any of these pedophiles that are going to get into my thoughts or into my head. Or use my image to claim to be me and get into other people's heads. Or the pedophiles will probably use my voice against me in multiple ways, but that's how those pedophiles have been doing it for years. See if it's ever possible to kill them off.
Oh, nice.